are locked in a bitter row, and the breakdown between Prince Harry and the chair of his charity, Sophie Chandauka, is escalating. Now so bad, it's in the hands of the charity regulator.
Sentebale scrutiny. Now, the UK Charity Commissioner has officially opened a compliance case into Sentebale matter following serious concerns raised about its governance. At the heart of this crisis is Dr. Sophie Chandauka, the current chair of the charity, and what unfolded following the mass resignation of trustees and co-founders in March 2025. This video breaks down the facts, the legal implications, and what really at stakes at Sentebale Charity.
From Prince Harry, a strongly worded statement saying what has transpired over the last week has been heartbreaking to witness, especially when such blatant lies hurt those who've invested decades in this shared goal. No one suffers more than the beneficiaries of Sentebale itself. The Charity Commission has opened a regulatory compliance case and will gather evidence from both sides. Since Prince Harry stepped down from the charity last week, there's been increasing infighting. During this exclusive interview on Sky News, Sophie Chandauka hit back.
Now let's recap the mass resignation and immediately power shift. On March 10, 2025, Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso were reportedly submitted their resignation as patrons of Sentebale. By March 25th, Dr. Sophie Chandauka had already begun restructuring the board and appointed 4 new trustees, including individuals reportedly linked to Prince William, notably Ian Rawlinson. Now, the public announcement of the resignation by patrons and multiple trustees followed on March the 26th. That was the public announcement, and say that the update to the public about that was on the 26th of March. Now, when everyone stepped down and you appoint a new board before the public even hears the full story, it's not reform, it's power grab, as they say, hostile takeover.
To be honest, it's a last resort. Really, what Prince Harry wanted to do was to eject me from the organization, and this went on for months. It went on for months through bullying, harassment. I have documentation.
A source close to former trustees of the charity said this was completely baseless. The Charity Commission will examine Dr. Chandauka's decision to spend almost £500,000 on consultants' fees.
The allegations surrounding Dr. Sophie Chandauka. Allegedly, she spent nearly 500,000 British pounds on consultants. She refused to resign when requested to do so by the board, threatens to sue the charity when asked to step down, gave multiple interviews, including the last one with Sky News, and which she made unverified allegations of bullying, misogyny, racism, and misconduct, but notably only targeted Prince Harry, while excluding Prince Seeiso, who was equally involved in charity leadership as patrons. Raised eyebrows for reportedly using or planning to use consultants connected to her family and business interests, and paid some of the consultant fee were paid. We know now that's been paid to Ian Rawlinson, that he was sitting next to her during the Sky News interview. key question is, did she act did she act outside the legal limits of her authority as chair?
Sky News was shown this document by a source close to former trustees detailing the sums paid. On the list is Ian Rawlinson, recently appointed a new trustee. He appeared alongside Dr. Chandauka in her interview. She insists the money's been correctly spent. One charity governance expert says the compliance case will look at any fees paid.
That's a mighty large percentage of their annual income. So it's bound to raise question marks. But if the trustees properly evaluated the situation, took professional advice if they needed it, avoided conflicts of interest and made their decision, I don't think the Charity Commission will interfere.
Staff here at the Charity Commission have a massive job on their hands. They can't adjudicate or mediate in the row engulfing Sentebale, but they will examine whether charity law has been properly followed. So much has been said and all painfully played out in public. The one thing both sides agree, this inquiry is needed to uncover the truth about Sentebale. Inquiry is needed to uncover the truth about Sentebale.
Patron versus trustees. Let's do a key legal distinction here, so you guys understand, so you don't get to be messed around by these media who are not really giving people some education because they want to blame Harry for anything that is going wrong by other people. The commission made it very clear, okay, that patrons are not trustees. So Harry is not a trustee, okay? Harry and Princesses are not trustees. So they have no legal responsibility for governance or finances. That means Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso, while founders and figureheads, aka patrons, are not accountable for financial or board decisions. The responsibility lies squarely with the trustees and chairs. So when things go wrong, blaming the patron isn't just misleading, it's legally irrelevant. So like I said, when she went on and on about that, and was like, oh my God, this is just another hate campaign, really. It's another reason to say the Sussex brand is toxic, people don't want to work with it, but it is not the patron's responsibility. So blaming Harry, blaming everyone, it is actually misleading. It's irrelevant in this case, very much so. But the media didn't tell you that it's actually irrelevant because they're busy about talking points, try to paint the Sussex brand as toxic, but they fail to educate the public that legally the patrons are just figurehead promoting the charity and its mission, so people are aware of, because they're famous, tend to be people who are famous, who are known, who could actually garner a lot of people to support this mission. So really, that's what you need to know and be aware of this as this case move forward. Prince Harry, Prince Seeiso, they are patrons. Just be aware of that, okay? What happens next? The commission will gather evidence, speak with whistleblowers, and review decisions made during this transition. So they will issue a concluding public statement, which will be released once the case is complete. In the meantime, supporters of Sentebale and the children it was created to serve should stay informed, stay vocal, and demand accountability. So this isn't about a media war, okay? This is about safeguarding trust, money, and the lives of children affected by HIV in Lesotho and Botswana. So the Commission is watching, so are we watching. Okay, and so we need to really be aware of the legality of this responsibility, and as the whole thing is about Harry this, Harry that. I mean, I think in my view, I feel like Dr. Chandauka failed to collaborate with the patrons to, this shouldn't have come to here. Remember, they patrons actually resigned following the mass resignation. They didn't resign because of her. They resigned in solidarity to those trustees who did not approve the direction of the that she was taking. This mission like climate change, wealth, health. You know, I mean, I can understand if she was trying to look at the social determinants of health, but there's no other way that she's talking about. She's talking about climate change, and how is that to do with and wealth? I mean, just think about it. Would you actually pay money, donate money to a charity which its mission is wealth? Be interesting to know. Oh, yeah. I don't know. That's why should never use your identity to shield yourself or to get yourself into a position. Never. Don't allow people to use your identity. It's crap. It's crap, people. You need to wake up to it. It's destroying the community. I mean, for God's sake, she is in a chair, voluntary role. She was told to resign. If she had resigned, we wouldn't be here. Okay, we wouldn't be talking about this. And long-standing trustee would still be there. Because long-standing trustees, when you're dealing with a vulnerable community, it's so important that they're there. And I'm not happy with this board, this new trustee board. They all need to go. They're just not legitimate in my view when I look at this group of people that have been appointed by her, by Sophie Chandauka. They look a bit dodgy to me. And the last video I did talk about the timeline around the resignation, because if you had mass resignation, the commissioner should have known, and they should have actually put the charity under emergency, power to not her, because she had mass resignation. Once you had that mass resignation on the same day, and the minimum requirement for a charity is 3 trustees, then it is a crisis. Did she actually file a crisis management with the commissioner? It doesn't look like she did, because there's no way where it's mentioning in the commissioner's website that they did that. Because as soon as she herself appointed people into a charity without yeah, she appointed this and put filing for appointments. If you had mass resignation while the minimum says is 3, then the charity it enters the crisis, and that means the commissioner needs to be looking into the matter, needs to be aware of it. It needs it to be communicated to the public before uh, appointing new trustees because the donor needed to know that all the people had resigned, and the commissioner is now, the charity is under the hands of the commissioner, and then the commissioner will appoint independent trustees, and then investigate the circumstances around the resignation, the mass resignation, and the governance of the charity. So the process, the procedure, it's what it's going to put her into the hot water. And the allegation of self-dealings, I showed it in the video when I was talking about this case, about self-dealings, people in there that work in the company that apparently she reportedly she co-owned with her brother, and the sister who was paid some money as consultants, and the brothers who worked in another company that's linked to her. Oh, there is huge conflict of interest and self-dealing. That is just alone that I can point out by the list of people of the consultants that the media has shown us, and by looking at the relationship and the connection of a company that was paid huge amount of money, who works in there, who's a consult, it's his brother, you know. So the commissioner's focus, it's really about the, to it's really emphasized the role to protect the purpose and beneficiaries of the charity. It's not acting as a referee in personal disputes like the media have actually painted it to be. Just be aware. It is a direct message that the public spots and the media interviews that we've seen of lately, the personal attacks against former trustees, and that they weren't attending meetings regularly, if when they were there did not contribute much. Those stuff are irrelevant if governance laws were broken. One thing is this allegation of consultants, and the relationship of the consultants with her and the company she reportedly owns with their brother and the sister, the Nadia, whatever health science that she reportedly owned with her brother and the sisters. The sister is mentioned as one of the consultant, and the brother as well is one of the consultant, but it's not mentioned in there, but consulted for another company that was paid lots of money. So these are self-dealing concerns and conflict of interest are the major issues and around her, and the fact that she reportedly hired them without board approval. So the commissioner will look at how this was approved. Was the board consulted, where all the checks and balances looked at, the conflict of interest, the people were going to involve, the fee, was it equitable fee, whatever they charged, and what was the benefit for it? Did it follow the process around using public money for such activities? And if the board didn't approve it, yeah, that is, but like I said, unauthorized use of money is using public money without authorization. That will sounds like. Based on that, the commissioner will tell us what's the outcome of their preliminary, investigation about what's the next step, about what to do. They're looking at governance. Any governance breach. If they were substantial, they will actually refer the matter to other authorities. But yeah, it is notably very important that you are aware Prince Harry is not a of it's not a trustees. He's a patron, so is Seeiso, Prince Seeiso. So they don't have any legal responsibility. Okay. So despite what the media wants you to believe that they have any legal responsibility for day-to-day functioning of the charity and how money is used and so on, and the mission of the charity. So the dispute allegedly it was about her changing the mission and saying they're focused on wealth and climate resilience, all that yada yada stuff. I mean, I'm interested to know if people would be donating money to the charity that its mission is about wealth creation. Would you donate money to a charity that its mission is about wealth creation? That's that's something I'm interested because I wouldn't do that. No. Oh no, I wouldn't do that. So I would like to know that. Would you do it? Would you donate money to a charity that its mission is about wealth creation? Yeah. Oh dear. All right. So yeah, like I said, the regulators focus to ensure trustees, including Sophie Chandauka, fulfill their primary duty to their charitable purpose and beneficiaries. And the commissioner made it clear that patrons are not trustees. When this media keep on talking about Prince Harry, just remind them Prince Harry is not a trustee. And Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso have no legal responsibility for governances and finances, despite raised millions of dollars, Prince Harry alone, for this charity. But he has no legal responsibility. Okay? This means, Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso, while founders and figureheads because they are patrons, figureheads, are not accountable for financial or board decisions. The responsibility lies squarely with the trustees and the chair. So when things goes wrong, blaming the patron isn't just misleading; it's legally irrelevant. It's really much irrelevant at this point. It's just about trying to manufacture outrage, trying to manufacture, the catchphrase, the Sussex brand is toxic. Nobody wants to work with the Sussex brand, it's toxic. I mean, it's manufactured, it's in the media, but in reality, it's not true. People would love to work with Prince Harry and Meghan. So it's manufactured. Really doesn't, I don't see any evidence of it, except when you listen to the media, of course. Nobody wants to work according to the media and all the reports because it's a propaganda machine. But here it's about the law, and it's about the law. So Prince Harry is not involved here. They can use their name to get people to view the videos because he's very popular. They can use Meghan because she's very popular, but they're not involved in this case. Okay, just be aware of it. Legally, they have no responsibility. In fact, they gave it all to help the community of Sentebale, Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso. The least she could have done is to actually respect them and collaborate with them, but she doesn't have leadership attributes, and she went there with a mission to destroy that community. So at my opinion is that this board that she's established is a fake board. It's illegitimate at this point because it didn't follow the due processes, how new board should be appointed after mass resignation. The commissioner didn't even know, it looks like they didn't even know that there was a mass resignation, and it looked like a hostile takeover that was planned for a while. And there is nothing that shows to me that this was communicated earlier on, that people had resigned to their donors and everybody else, so that she's looking to hire other trustees, still looking for trustees. And it was, and if and the commissioner was also involved into making sure that the charity and the mission and the people, the beneficiaries, remains protected. But a really hostile takeover. This one, it's weird. I'm telling you, this is one. I'm gobsmacked that people would attempt to do such thing. It's a daylight robbery, you know, if I may say. Take over this charity. It's not even. What is she going to do with it? I can ask this. What's she going to do with the charity? She's got a lot of failed businesses. What is she going to do with Sentebale? If she's had so many failed ventures elsewhere, when you look at it, what is she going to do with it? How she's going to make it better, make it different than other business that she's been that failed? Okay, that's the question I'm asking. So no. As far as I'm concerned, the current chairs and the board that she's appointment, they're illegitimate board, trustees, illegitimate, everything about them, it's illegitimate at this point. Okay? Thank you guys for listening. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Until next time, see ya.